Welcome back to another episode of Unrated Podcast. Coming to you all over the weekend. Michigan played number one team in the country. Hung around for a little bit, but unfortunately, it's too much from Oregon. I ended up losing by about three touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but then Sunday came around. Um, Lions went to Green Bay, handled business. So bittersweet weekend overall, but um, happy to say that our Lions, they ripping and running right now and doing their thing. But I'm gonna kick it off to you, E. We'll talk about Michigan here as far as what happened with Oregon, then dive into a little bit of Indiana and talk on the Lions as well. So kick it over to
Yeah,
you.
no, I guess I'll try to keep it short and sweet when it comes to Michigan, our beloved Wolverines here. It is it's just, it's the team is just not gelling well. Starting with the quarterback, starting with the some of the play calling, both offensively and defensively. I think, it's a kind of a rude awakening. Very tough schedule this year. Let's not say that as well, but that's just the new lay of the land when it comes to the Big Ten. You're week in and week out, you're going to have to play tough squads, such as Oregon, Penn State, Michigan State on a given year, Ohio, obviously. So, Washington will work up some teams, USC. This is the new lay of the land. You got to come to fight every single week. And, I just think the team is just kind of falling flat. I think there needs to be some shakeup at defense coordinator, offensive coordinator, and kind of go from there. It would be interesting to see kind of how much of impact that would have, because I do think Sharon Moore is built for it. But as far as inside the game, it was we just kind of we kept it within swinging distance. Where some crazy things happened. We technically were in it, but I would say the score didn't really indicate how I felt watching it. It seemed like we were just not getting anything, not executing, to the Michigan level, not executing on run games. It just disappeared. Offensive passing, he had some moments. Spade had some moments. Not Spade. I'm tripping. Davis has some moments, but Orgy seemed to be getting more busy on running, but it's just not
Yeah.
enough. And you're facing, not like Oregon happens to be this year.
hmm
And not to say this is, I could not help myself with this last thing I'll say. Just sitting around watching, damn, why couldn't we go get somebody like Dylan Gabriel? Why, why,
For
we knew
sure.
what the quarterback room was, and I hate to say it again, but why couldn't we go get a Will Howard? Why couldn't we go get like I said, Dylan Gabriel? Why Cam Ward? Somebody like that. We coming off that championship team. I know we started late, but it just was that was crossing my mind as we're watching this game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it looks like we are now willing to shell out some cash for a QB, and I think I'm glad to see that it only took seven or yeah, 9 games to, finally start to get the ball rolling or something like that. But yeah, no, I echo a lot of things you were saying. Yeah, I mean, like I think overall, I mean, you can at least, still see the fight. I feel like, at least they ain't, wandering in there and just kind of laying down. I mean, you were a couple bad play calls by the coaching staff from being like that being a one-score game, and then a horrible blatant missed call by the referees
Yes.
in that first drive to where that game could have been we either had a lead or tied, at some point in the game. So tough game. Like, yeah, I echo a lot of things you was just saying. I think, it's
I just
just,
want to double down on blatant. That shit was the two refs are right there. But anyway,
yeah, like just, I mean, the ref, like he's literally crouching down, like looking at it, and like you said it too, Saturday, like just they just in there playing a little swing, hooking ladder, whatever they doing. Like the booth never reviewed anything. Like there's
yep.
no, and that, yeah. So like, yeah, it's just another situation where something like that, yeah, it's not working in our favor. But yeah, no, I think, QB play was a little bit better. Like you said, it was interesting that the run game is kind of started to like go away now. They had best cornerback on Colston Loveland, so that just shows how much respect they have for guys on the outside. Um, yeah, that's
Um,
yeah, like
there's just
yeah,
no respect for us
yeah,
passing the ball down the field. No respect for like you said, whether it's Morgan or O'Leary or whoever we start trying to roll out there and get some plays to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
I agree.
guys made
It's
some
pedestrian.
plays, but like in that game, so you hope just kind of like transferring over here, and then just talking about Indiana that some guys got some confidence, you know, and Davis was able to really obviously going to be targeting Colston just because that's the best receiver on our team right now, but he did find a couple other guys, hit Morris, up top, I think right around the
Yeah,
goal line, and he ended up dropping it, but. Yeah, hopefully, I think overall there's some if there's anything to take away from this, I'd say it's like the momentum of having like more of a formidable offense for the first time all season, going into this Indiana game where, we're on paper, we were thinking
yeah,
in
one and got
September,
it in the bag.
August,
Yeah,
we thought, this might be one in the bag, but it's a completely different team. This guy, Kurt Signetti, I've been hearing a lot more about him, coached under Saban for a few years. Had James Madison rolling, pretty much showed up in here. And their schedule is very favorable. Soup, when I say like very like their only ranked opponent is Ohio. They haven't played them yet. So yeah, I mean this is gonna be a game where I'm just genuinely concerned because they can just pass the ball. I mean they kind of play a type of football that we just don't really play. We have a formula, but the formula is not existing right now on how to like play against these types of teams. So I'm a little concerned.
yeah. No, I'm definitely concerned. And who would have ever thought you'd be concerned about Indiana? But they're putting up points. Every week you look at the box score, they're in the 40s. They're I did not watch the Michigan State game, but I know I seen at one point State was up 10-0 on them, and then I look at the box score and they lost like 49-10. So,
Yeah,
49 unanswered points is that's a tall task. We haven't scored 49 points in a two-game stretch here. So it's tough considering that. And so I think if the run game is going to be pedestrian, that's only going to hurt the defense because that's kind of the recipe as you were alluding to. We pound the rock, keep the defense off the field, keep their offense off the field. Defense goes out there, typical quick 3-and-out, helps our offense bring them back out there. I think we can't seem to get into that rhythm. We stall out on offense. Um, Very predictable on offense. So I think it's this is a tall task for us, but I do think our boys are up to it. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's Indiana. I do believe that they could be a different squad, have some good plays, but I think they're one of the teams young, haven't been in this spot yet. A lot of our boys have, even if whether they were not big time players, have a lot of big time game under their belts. So, you kind of turk them into murky waters, let the game get a little deep. I think you could crack them, but I think that takes execution on offense.
for
Uh,
sure. Perfect game.
yeah, perfect game. They seem to be kind of more of a heavy point scorer, so I think you would have to treat them like you're going to do at Texas or Oregon. Maybe not from a skill level standpoint, but what they're trying to do. So you're going to have to, all things considered, probably score like with that inevitable 30 points. You get around, hover around that 30, I feel really good about our chances. Um,
For sure.
yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is one of them games where it's just a spot where it's like you could kind of derail their season. I mean, Loveland said it, a couple weeks back, just kind of play spoiler at this point.
play
Because I
spoiler, and
don't
I think real quick, and I think if they win this game, this will be their most winningest season.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
so you
watched
could
one of their
there's a
games like a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about that, and they're only like they literally have nothing to their whole program history. Like they have a Fiesta Bowl win in like '79.
oh my
That's
goodness,
like that's what
wow.
they were talking about their heyday. Like it's
It's
uh
too, it's probably like Michigan coming down there. This is probably their homecoming. I think if I'm not mistaken,
that'd be
there's like a five-star quarterback. I think his name is like Julian Lewis. He's like committed to USC right now, but for some reason He's like on a visit to Indiana this weekend. So this is
Well, let me
Michigan.
find out Indiana doing some crazy shit. Let me find out. But
Yeah, even
we can but I think we can withstand them, bro. I think we
yeah,
it's putting together. I mean, this could be a game you can hang your hat on. You win this one, we feel pretty good versus Northwestern, and then
yeah,
you throw the kitchen sink at Ohio, and anything can happen. You can turn it around here
yeah.
and play spoiler, like you said. Get a good win under your belt. Let's you
People
know,
get Will back though.
big.
That,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I wasn't sure, but
yeah,
big game down. Let's get one. Let's if you
put
ever
one
need
together.
one
Yeah,
for draft help, if you ever need one for this team for this season, let's put together a 180 to 175 yard game right now. Let's break a
yeah.
couple.
Seriously.
You know, um,
Yeah, just find that. Yeah, just find a flash in the last few years, and yeah, just find a way. But like I said, obviously we're gonna have better athletes. Like better in the trenches. This is gonna be a matter of getting guys on the ground because they gonna do is quick game
yeah,
bubbles, screens. Like that's literally all they do up and down the field. They'll hit you on a couple corners, some out, just kind of like throw some stuff deep in there too. But they're just a typical spread offense that just don't stop. So hopefully it's a situation where able to play a little bit, play on defense because it would just be unfortunate to get blown out. Had them hang 42 or something like that, 45
yeah.
on us. So
No,
yeah,
I agree. It's yeah. I don't know, but we gotta get yeah. You gotta want to jump out with a score prediction.
yeah. I'll think the same thing. Yeah. Let me think. I'm gonna just say 30 to 27. I think we'll win 30 to 27. I won't can't pick us to lose. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And you literally stole my score. I'm gonna double down on that 30 to 27.
Yeah.
Um,
He was
I
close
can't
last week.
yeah, bro. I don't know if you bet that or not. I
34-17.
don't know if you bet.
Uh
I was going like, ooh. I was like,
uh but I'm
but
like, man, like, yeah, he was 4 points off.
yeah, they wouldn't got that BS touchdown at the end. But I think somewhere around that ballpark. And then, we'll see what they can do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Think it'll be a close one. Hopefully they can put together a good solid season, if any, or a good solid game as this season goes on, if anything, to raise the bowl
Yeah,
stock at this
right.
point. So but yeah, now we're gonna touch on these Lions. Man, they rolled into Green Bay. St. Brown had the hoodie on. Green Bay sucks. The dope hoodie. It ain't $100 dope. I saw that online today. Not that's kind of crazy, but yeah, no, this is all around just a great just a great game. I mean, we rolling, bro. Like
Yeah,
I was a little concerned with the weather. I mean, golf was in there just dealing.
precision.
St. Brown, this is like kind of like one of them games where it's like we just, like if anybody gonna show up in a game like this, it's gonna be Amon St. Brown. But yeah, just a great all-around performance. The defense going in there with pass rush is horrible, finding a way to only give up 13 points. Yeah, let's get into it. Just see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, no, I think just a good way to way to handle business. Like you said, you're kind of firing on all cylinders. The team is just stout. Like I think I don't want to say the score. It seemed more of a better than a 10-point win. It seemed kind of
Feel
like we really,
like 31-7.
yeah, it really did. But either way, you take a 10-point dub on the road. Kind of put another division win under your belt. Caleb Williams and them look like they're stumbling. So you already got a dub versus the two biggest contenders next to you. So I
Yeah.
think it is both on the road too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to taking care of business on the road, knocking teams off. Golf is playing very high caliber, and you were doing this man down. One of your best players in obviously Hutch is out, but and then Jameis
Branch.
with his weird suspension, he's back now. I'm sure he wants to make business. He always has seems like something lurking in the background. But then on the flip side of that, he always is very explosive. And
Yeah.
whether you have to honor him at all times on the field. So the fact that we've been taking care of business without him out there, didn't seem to miss a beat at all is just kind of a testament to what we have.
Lost Branch.
Obviously, yeah, Lost Branch, bro, he's a demon. He's but
I'm
I
getting
love
that picture on his shirt. I'm doing
it. Yeah.
it.
No, bro, I love it. But him, Kirby Joseph,
Yeah,
uh pick six, just looking in the background there. I think we got some real difference makers out there on defense. Keep
yeah.
picking up players, and obviously we can maybe talk about that a little bit. Some of the trades we've had, but
Hmm.
overall, kind of banged up Love a little bit. Defense is still making noise, and just real stout. You can live with this.
Yeah,
This,
they're
this
giving up a lot
combo
of
of offense and
yards.
defense is,
Yeah.
I mean, high level playoff bound.
I just give Aaron Glenn so much credit because like we're just kind of playing this bend but don't break type
Mhm.
defense. We're giving up, I mean, Love almost threw for like 300 yards.
Yeah,
They
it was
ran for
empty
about
calories. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's like but like what I love, and even dating back to like even last season, that playoff run, like we're just able to get teams inside that 25-yard line, and we just really just like clamp up. Haven't gave up a 100-yard rusher in over like 2 years almost like 890 days or something, which is crazy. Jacobs got close. He got like 95, but he had like 70 in the first half and
yeah.
we kind of clamped him up after that, which was great. Um, yeah, man, it just means so much, E. Like we've been waiting for this. Like it's
Dude,
crazy. Like the
first
0
time 7-1
16.
since like 56 I seen.
Yeah, yeah,
And just the team is really rolling. And I said this last week, and I'm gonna keep saying it just because you have to be critical, like we weren't as critical about our Michigan Wolverines. So I think if we really want a championship from them, and that's the Lions, that is, you you had to go make these moves in the trades,
right.
to kind of start up that
100%.
defensive line. You have to not hit not try to be the smartest guy in the room like we were at the start of the year with Ben Johnson, thinking we had to do the air raid offense. Just we
Got it to our
stumbled a little
identity.
bit, and we figure it out. I think Dan Campbell, he's played way more conservative um over the last couple of weeks than he previously has. So I think knowing when and not to do that is that's the right key for him,
Hmm.
is being unpredictable, but you know what you're gonna do. It's kind of you're they'll play them punts a little more funny every time if you do it just right, and
Right.
it'll work if you do it just right. Those type of things. So I think he has to be the maestro of it all. You talk about Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson,
Complimentary.
obviously
Yeah,
highly touted.
complimentary football.
Yep, yep. It all is
Like,
all coming together. And
yeah.
I think just rolling down into the Texans, this game is slightly different than what we thought it was going to be. I think I just looked up before we hopped on here. They're down Nico Collins,
Might be back
and
this week, but
I think already was still out.
oh, okay. 'Cause
I
I
could
saw
be
he
wrong
might have
about that,
been.
but
I
and
think it should take one more week. I think it should take
yeah,
one more
yeah, it
week.
should. But that'd be a big difference because you've seen how much of a difference that makes when offensive line is. You got a couple star receivers out. CJ Stroud kind of came back to earth a little bit. Um, but kind of. So, what are your general thoughts on just heading down to the Texans?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they're nobody to play with. They still can. They're a loose cannon, so you got to take
for
care of business.
sure.
How do you feel
For
about it?
me, it's they're obviously a lot different team than what we kind of expected or saw or thought they would be. Yeah, lost Stephon Diggs, rest of the season. Nico Collins, he's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks at this point. Their old line is like depleted too. Like I think they just lost like
Yeah,
their rookie like left guard or like like their first round pick or something for like the rest of the season. Really, the only bright spot is Tunsil, the left tackle, but everybody else. I mean, we saw. I don't know if you got a chance to watch them play the Jets Monday night or Thursday night, this past Thursday night, but Stroud was running for his life the entire time.
yeah,
So, hoping that, you can capitalize off that to an extent. I know we don't have like superstar pass rush. We'll see what uh Zadarius Smith gonna do. They gave him 2 days off because he ain't had no bye week. So hopefully he can kind of give us like 15 to 20. Can he play third and medium, third and long, at least to give Stroud a little bit of trouble. But I know Glenn, like he's been finding ways to blitz linebackers, bring guys off the edge. Um, like it's like in the secondary. So and yeah, by the way, you got Melifonwu and Mosley also
Yep.
training to come
Yeah,
back too.
practicing. Yeah.
So defense is only getting better as of right now. So yeah, but I think when it comes to this game, I'm a little, it's a weird spot. We did weather the 4 road games in 5 weeks. Did weather that storm effectively here. So this would be icing on the cake to be able to go down and get this one on Sunday night. I know you're gonna have them ready, but this is kind of like a tough spot where, you know, the way the Texans got embarrassed on Thursday, you got to imagine you're gonna get a pretty good game out of them this week.
Yeah. No, I think they're one of those kind of they like you said, nope. They had so much momentum coming off the last year that they expected a much better year. But I think that's kind of the just what happens when you're kind of
Hmm.
fighting in that mediocre to not category.
Yeah,
And when we're coming to town, like a sharpened knife, top down, this is we've taken the team and built it right over the last couple of years. That's why we can miss all future all pro people like Hutch and not seem to really miss that much of a beat. But
yeah,
we've talked about this over the last couple of years on the pod, but just breaking the season into quarters, so 3-1, 4-0, and then now you're heading to this next category here. So it'd be
yeah,
great to go ahead and get the first one off this bucket, and then you're setting yourself up really pretty. You're sitting
yeah,
there 8-1, um, 8-1 headed into mid-November with a lot of momentum because you got a lot of home games versus your divisional games. So I'm looking forward to that defense being fired up. Like you said, kind of taking advantage of their beat up offensive line, taking advantage of them being kind of man down a receiver. So continue to be ball hawks, punch that ball out, interceptions. I think you have a couple of those in there, and along with that stout run game, I just looked it up. We ran for like 121 yards total as a team. Both Gibbs and Montgomery, pretty solid games. Not fantastic games, but I mean, you'll take 70 yards a pop out of each of them every week. So
sure.
I think just continue to lean on that. Get Laporta back in there. He seemed to have big games, or not big moments, I should say, but I'm ready for him to put together a hell of a game. Same with
You
JMO.
do.
Just come back firing and on all
That's what
cylinders,
hopefully,
and
man.
hopefully he can, just come back
We got that
rejuvenated.
Motown comment back.
Yeah,
The Motown comment, you're gonna open every. I mean,
Motown
the way that
comment.
we still able to, the way we still able to move the ball without him the last couple weeks on the ground, having the best O line in the league. You throw him out there now because Houston, they got a pretty solid secondary.
Hmm.
Defense, like I mean, my man's was in San Fran. He had the defense right. Blanking on or D'Amico Ryan's.
Right.
So defense gonna be, but I mean, I just feel better about us because of we're getting the people back that we've been missing and still been humming, playing some of the better teams in the NFC over the
Right. And out
last
there
two,
with
three
young
weeks.
boys, out there with some young bulls like
Yeah.
Terry
Right.
Arnold, been thrown to the fire, had
Yeah.
some, I forget through
Straw
the
was out
first,
there.
yep. Through the first probably what month of the season, Terry Arnold,
Hmm.
most penalized guy, one of the most targeted guys. He
He
still has
hasn't
his
had one since
moments,
like week
but that,
6.
yeah, but that's calmed down a little bit. And he's settling in. So I think all that is, key experience for these guys that we're going to need to depend on if we're going to make a playoff run. He's going to need to
Yep.
have all that, know he can get a penalty and come back and get that off his mind. He's not thinking about it.
Right.
Have good
Being
stretches where he's
aggressive.
not getting those. And then I can't imagine how much comfort it is being a corner, knowing you have Kirby Joseph and Branch back there lurking that he doesn't know, the quarterback doesn't know whether he's going to get his receiver's head taken off or whether they're going to make a immaculate interception or what the case is. But that's tough. And bringing in just a new juice at the defensive line that's needed. I think we were a little skimp anyway.
Yeah.
Even with Hutch being in there, we probably needed to make this move or a similar move. Uh,
Hmm.
and obviously that'd be a completely
Just
different.
glad. I was glad
Yeah.
the secondary is better this year.
And I seen, yeah, 100%. And I seen Campbell joking about them playing together. So I think it's interesting. I don't think he'll rush back anytime soon. The way I seen him laid up. But
Yeah, what they say
you
in the
know,
Super Bowl is when he'd be ready. So that's what they like. If we could get him like conference championship, well,
that'd
let
be
me get
wild.
yeah. But yeah,
You got a
I
score
think
prediction? I can hop
yeah.
in. I can do it first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think we're gonna keep coming out there ready to go. I can't imagine too many bumps in the road. So I'm feeling pretty solid about this one. But I'm gonna go like let me give you a weird funky score. I'm gonna go like 34-20. 34.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. I'm gonna go 30-20. Like I think we just go. I mean, what we've been doing is roll in with that run game. Whatever that run game is beautiful. It is.
Vicious.
It is. It's somebody. I saw somebody on Twitter. They put it perfectly. They said you get David Montgomery 7-8 carries to start the game off, where it's like a battering round, and then like out of nowhere you just now you got Jameer Gibbs coming at you that can also run you over, but can also hit you. Hit his head on the goalpost for 80. So
Both the
yeah,
lightning. No,
they
I
got
don't know if
to
they won a championship with it, so I don't want to exactly mimic them, but it's like the Giants when they had Brandon Jacobs
Bradshaw.
and Bradshaw, they were
Bradshaw. Yeah,
yeah,
I think they
they
still. Yeah, I think they got one.
yeah, so they just I mean I think about them two difference, the behemoth Jacobs out there, and then you bring in Bradshaw just kind of they had three guys, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They had but
Mhm.
either way, I think having two star running backs has never been a bad thing in the NFL, and we're bringing it
Yeah.
back.
And they might go back for it. They might go for 1,000 each too. They both had like 700 already.
Yeah,
So
that'd be crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you got anything else for the people?
So I got. Be back with
Yeah.
y'all next week.
We're back at you soon. Lions lost on or Pistons lost on a heartbreaker.
Fuck.
Yeah. 107, 108.
Peace.
Peace.